Hello, Atticus authors. How are you today or this evening? I am on Pacific Standard Time, so this is evening for me. But this was one of the time zones that I have selected to live stream, hoping that this accommodates some folks who are coming in from a different time zone. So I hope you will all be very active in the chat box tonight. Being able to have open conversations with you in a little bit more of a two-way fashion makes these live streams so much more entertaining and valuable for everyone. So to get started, if we have not met before, my name is Monique Danielle. I'm one of the customer success geeks with Atticus and also the educational content curator. So that basically means I do these live streams and tutorials with you guys. I really am excited for you to be here today. And if you can let me know in the comments section that you're here and maybe where you're joining from, I'm hoping we have, or I'm thinking we might have some fun locations here this evening. So if you can say hello in the chat box, that would be wonderful. Also, just as a general rule, I like to make sure you guys can all hear me properly. Hopefully everything is set up well. And then we'll just give people a few minutes to join in before I dive deep into Atticus. So just so you know, I can already see some more of our customer success geeks from Atticus in the comment section. If you guys want to engage with Lizzie and Felicia, they are absolutely wonderful and they are here to help out and moderate and answer any questions. I will do my very best to answer everything live vocally with you, but if I miss anything in the chat box, keep chatting away. Felicia and Lizzie will be in touch with you there, and hopefully we'll get everything covered. So hello to Dyron Hunter. You're in the UK. It's 3 a.m. for you. Okay, well, I do have a few more live streams coming up in the next couple of days that might help as well, but I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for staying up. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and being here in the middle of the night, that gets high priority treatment. Joel, welcome from Ohio. Kendra's from Louisiana. Welcome, everyone. So you guys are, it's a little bit later for you as well. So thank you again for being here. I did go live yesterday morning just after the update was released, but I know that was early mornings for a lot of people, or again, maybe the middle of the night, depending on where you're joining in from. But we had some great questions. We walked through a lot of the demos. That's what we're going to do here again tonight. Hello from California. Hello, Christina. Are you a writer if you don't have 3 a.m. live streams? No kidding. Actually, that's a really, really good point. Yeah, I am sure a lot of us keep some strange hours. When the muse is working for us, you got to make the most of that. So that's great. Well, thanks everybody for commenting. If you join in at any point, feel free to leave some comments in the chat box. We'll try to get through everything. Basically, the point of this live stream is to introduce you all to the new look of Atticus. If you received the email that I sent out, or if you've logged into Atticus, you know everything looks a little bit different compared to a few days ago. First things first, I want to assure you that all of your favorite features are still there. They may just be located in a slightly different place. We had to do this update not just for aesthetic purposes or on a whim or because we wanted things to look pretty, but because we have so many plans for the future that really needed a new user interface in order to incorporate those plans. So for all of the anxiously awaited features like collaboration and some of the plotting and outlining features that we're still planning on rolling out in Atticus's future, we needed to update kind of the layout and the user interface of the program to make space for these new features. So this new look is a lot of change for a lot of people, which can cause some anxiety, and we want to do our best to alleviate that for you. Again, I assure you everything is still there, and tonight or today we're going to walk through where everything is now. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to jump into my Atticus account and start showing you around. And while I am in there, while I'm sharing my screen, I just want to let you know that I won't be able to see the comments at the same time. So I'm going to run through everything, and then I will come back. And if you guys have any questions along the way, or if you want to see anything more closely, you can let me know in the comment section, and I can jump back and forth into Atticus after that. So It's been a couple minutes. Everybody joining should be here, or they can kind of catch up as we go along. So I am going to share my screen with you. This will bring you into my Atticus account. So you should be seeing Atticus and some fun little doggy covers here. This is the new home dashboard. It does look a little bit different, but again, all of the features are still there. Actually, I'm on my books page. So this is what you will log into, sorry. This is when you first open up Atticus, this is your new home dashboard. It has all the same features, so you can still upload a brand new book if you have your manuscript in docx format. You can start one from scratch if you like looking at that blank page right off the beginning, or you can create your box set if you have some books already formatted and you want to combine them together into a box set. I'm not going to go over every single feature like I would in a tutorial. I'm just going to give you the lay of the land and how it looks now. One of the new features that we've added is this link over here in the top right to our tutorials. If you haven't been to our tutorials page on our website, we do our very best to always update with any new features. We give you a walkthrough. There will be often a video to go along with it, but always screenshots and step-by-step instructions on how to use all of the features. So if you're ever stuck and you can't remember how to do something, or you want to try something new, always check out our tutorials and hopefully we'll have that covered for you. Of course, if you don't find what you're looking for right away, we have our wonderful YouTube channel or our amazing Facebook community, so you can jump in and see if there's anything you need there. And of course, you're always welcome to email support. So I'll put that out up front. If you ever need to get in touch with our support team, it's support@atticus.io. And in the top right here with the icons, there is a link to our support page so that you can use our form there. While I'm up here, this is the icon to install your app. This was just an update with Atticus, so it shouldn't have interrupted if you already had the app installed. It should still be there. But if any of you are used to using it in your browser and you want to try the app out, you can use this link here. Depending on your operating system, sometimes the button inside Atticus doesn't always work. But if you look in the browser bar to the right of where you would type in a URL or a website, there's an icon that should look very, very similar. And if the one in Atticus doesn't work, the one in the toolbar should. Beside it, you have a content backup button. So if you press that button, it will sync everything to the cloud and make sure it's all backed up there. Atticus does this automatically while you're working, but this is just, it creates a nice anchor point. It will also export a JSON file. And if anything ever goes wonky with your account, or if you accidentally delete a book or something along those lines, you can send our programming team the backup, and we will, the JSON file that exports, and we'll be able to restore that for you. So it's a nice little fail-safe if, I don't know, your cat types all over your keyboard or something. I know that's happened before. And then, of course, you have your profile here where you can log out. Now, if anybody is opening up Atticus and you get a blank screen, before you panic and worry that all your content has disappeared, this is usually just a signal that Atticus needs to be updated or refreshed, much like it helps to restart your computer every once in a while to clear out the cobwebs. Sometimes logging out of Atticus and logging back in really does make a big difference in getting everything to run smoothly, especially if you are using Chrome or another browser that updates frequently. This can be a good practice. So sometimes you want to log out and then you can log back in. And if you do a hard refresh, that just freshens everything up as well. A hard refresh on a Windows computer is Control-Shift-R. And for most Mac computers, it is Command-Shift-R. And that will do a hard refresh for you. So most other things on your dashboard will look fairly similar. You have all of your books by cover here. But if you scroll down the page, you will see you can now access your master pages right from the home dashboard. These used to be kind of kept in a separate gallery. Now you can access them here. You can click on them to open them up. You can also edit any of your details or sync to all your books from this homepage here. As usual, anywhere you see these 3 vertical dots, that always means there's something else you can do. So if you hover over those dots, you can either duplicate or delete your books. And when you see those dots elsewhere, just hover over it and see what your other options are. So if you have more master pages than fits on the screen here, you can see all to get to all your master pages. But the other new addition to your home dashboard is if you click See All here, or if you click My Books from the top center here, it opens up into a new screen and you can see all of your pages and master pages and books here, or you can sort by just your books or just your master pages. And from inside here, you can view either in the default grid view, or if you prefer the list format, if that's more comfortable for you, you can click this icon over here. You can also sort your content by recently added, date modified, alphabetically, forwards or backwards, or you can search your account. So if you're looking for a specific book or a specific project, you can search your account here. I'm very used to seeing the grid view, so the list view looks a little odd to me, but you can type in here. I've got some projects called workbooks. So if you type it in here, all of your workbooks that you have saved as a project, anything you've named your project, you can type it in here, or version. If you want to see all the version ones of everything you've done in your account, you can type that in, that kind of thing, whatever you've saved it as. So that's your basic dashboard. As always, you can click the logo to come back home, or the home button in the center from here. And then you're just going to want to start working on your book. This is exactly the same as it was before. You just click to enter and you come to your writing editor. This is where some of the changes start to pop up. So we'll go over all of the major changes, and then I'm sure you'll have some questions as well. Again, this is not going to be a tutorial, so I won't be really showing you how each of these features work, just kind of where to find them and any changes that we may have done. So the left navigation panel is pretty much the same as always. The one thing you will notice is up here, you don't have the option anymore to switch between theme or content. I know this is one of the things that most people, or this is one of the most commonly referenced points where it made people a little nervous, is you want to be able to see the writing with your previewer, which previously you would click the content button up here and go into the formatting page. Now you can do it straight from the writing section, but you're just going to want to come down to the lower right here and click on previewer. And then you can bring your previewer up, or you can tuck it away and hide it. You can still switch to print preview. You can still shuffle through all of your chapters, anything you'd like to do. So you can pull it out, or you can hide it here. The main toolbar is mostly the same. Some of the options kind of shuffled around or look a tiny bit different, but you've got your headings and your paragraph style here, all your other options, your alignment choices and the lists, unordered list or like bullet list or numbered list, your scene break, page break, all your links, all your images. Call out box is a fairly new feature. Text messaging, they're a fairly new feature. Hope you've played with them. They're really fun and amazing. Adding your footnotes here, your profile accounts, and the block quote verse, hanging indent formats, split chapters, and then your undo and redo buttons. So those are all pretty much the same. You still have your gear icon. This used to be located underneath your title. Now it's just to the right here. Just because of consistency, all of the icons are typically to the right. So you can open this up and it has all your chapter menu options here. These basically override your theme selections. So if there's anything you want only one chapter or page to, say, not have a chapter image, or if you've used a dark background image, for example, and you have a page that you aren't using the background image, you can override just that setting and invert the text color so that you have your default font on that one page, and then the rest of the pages have the dark background. You can play around with these sentences. We do have tutorials on all of those, a little bit more in depth. We have shuffled a few other little things around. So it used to say saving, saved up here in the top right. Now you will see it kind of down here in the kind of footer bar. This is mostly just consistency with other word processing programs out there to have it there. Also, we listen to your feedback, and having the export to docx a little bit more easily available. You can now find it here in your writing section. So if you ever want to just have a backup copy, I'm sure you all know this by now, but just as reference point, Word cannot, it doesn't have the ability to keep all of your formatting. That is what Atticus does. So when you export to docx file, it will keep all your content, all your chapter titles, everything content-wise, it will keep it, but it will bring it back into Word formatting. So that won't be your file that you go to the publisher with. You always want to use your EPUB or PDF for that, but it's perfect for an editor or just to have a backup for yourself. The sprint timer has moved out of the main toolbar and has come down here to the bottom. And your word count, which used to kind of be in the top corner of your writing editor, is now down here in the bottom as well. You can switch between your full book word count, just the chapter you're working on, or if you have a selection highlighted and you want to know how many words that is, you can do that here. The other thing that has been moved out of the toolbar that a few people were asking about is the Smart Quotes application. So if you've ever noticed the little icon here that gives you a warning that you have mixed quotes in your book, that is now in the right sidebar. Previously, when you opened up the writing editor, there was a little pull-out menu that said more tools, and we have just updated that a little bit. I'm going to close out of my previewer so you can see it a bit better. But there is a right sidebar here now, and that's nice and tucked away and out of view, but you can still open it up. So if you want to change any of these settings, you have your editor settings, which is just your writing tools for your writing comfort. This does not influence the final formatted export settings. That's all done in formatting. But just for your writing editor settings, those writing preferences are here. And then you have your find and replace. And then you have your book goals, your writing habits. These are more or less in the same place as they used to be, but this is the Smart Quotes applicator for you here now. So if you want to check if you have any inconsistencies, this is the little icon that used to be up here. So you can check, and you can see in this book, I have one chapter with a mix. So I could go to that chapter and apply Smart Quotes from this toolbar here. And you can just close out of it when you're done. So again, this preview button here in the bottom right, that was a big change for a lot of people, but it's hopefully just as easy to use. And that's pretty much your writing editor. So almost everything it looks pretty much the same. A few of the features have moved around just a little bit, but within a day or two, if you're anything like me, you will have completely forgotten what it used to look like because you're so immersed in the current setting. So it didn't take too long to get settled with it. I know change is harder for some people than others, but it was designed with usability in mind. So hopefully it won't take long to catch on and get a feel for where everything is. The only other change that is in this section here is the edit book details. You used to click the title of your book from the top of the left navigation pane. Now you can just click edit book details. There's always a button there, and it has all your book details here, and you can add publisher details. All the same information as what was there, just change in the layout makes it a little bit easier to use. That was one of our main goals, is to just kind of freshen everything up, make it a little bit more modern and easy to find everything. So less scrolling, which really helps, especially on some smaller screen sizes. I've had a lot of people write in saying that it's more usable on their mobile devices. So hopefully that helps everyone. But even if you're always writing on a larger screen, it just keeps everything looking a little bit more clean and organized. And then, of course, you can do your exports over here and your download snapshot. So just as a refresher, the download snapshot is the backup of the book that you're working on. So it will export a JSON file as well. It could be used to restore your book to that point if anything happens to it. Or if you make a big change and decide you really don't like what you did, we can restore to the JSON file if you have it saved. This will be for the book alone. Again, if you click the content backup in the top here, that backs up your entire account, and the JSON file that exports there is everything in your account. This is just for the one book. So now we will jump into the formatting. So again, this is going to look very similar. It does close down the left navigation panel because now we're just in the formatting. So you can choose your theme to work on. You can start a new theme from scratch, exactly how you would have done it before. And if you want to edit and see all your settings, you just choose your theme, click the three dots, and edit. And then you get into your theme settings. All the same options are here. They're just, again, laid out a little bit differently. So if you decide you don't want a certain setting in the chapter headings, you can just uncheck this. And you'll see it does disappear from the previewer, but it also closes up that section. So if you have nothing here, then it's a nice and tidy little screen, and it only opens up your selections if you want to include them in your book. And then you can just go through with your multiple choices and choose whatever settings you want. So you have your chapter heading, you have your paragraph settings, your subheadings, your scene break, which you can do with your image or without an image or with no visible scene break at all. And you can set that up here. You have your notes. All of those are the same as they were before. Where it changes a little bit is once you hit print layout. Some of the options before tended to get missed a little bit. They were hidden in the advanced settings area, which some authors didn't go to because they thought, well, I don't need anything advanced. That's too much. But then you didn't always have everything available to you. So we've reorganized just a little bit. So the print layout now includes a lot of things that used to be in the advanced layout menu. So things like adjusting your margins, you can change the size of your indents if you have your book set to indent. You can change the alignment or add hyphens to your book if necessary. We've got keep options over here. Keep options mean if you have an ornamental break or a subheading at any point in your book, where in the print version, the paragraph following it will be bumped to the next page. The keep options make sure that the ornamental break, your scene break, or the subheading will be kept with the next paragraph and bumped over to the next page as well. So you won't have a random subheading at the bottom of the page. It will always be with the next paragraph. And then the layout priority, we have discussed this a lot in other lives and tutorials and demos. So I won't go too in depth with it. We do have tutorials on it as well to let you know what the layout is for you, but you have your choice of whether you want to protect against widows and orphans, if you want to ensure a balanced page spread, which is generally the last line, and each of your pages are exactly equal. Widows or orphans prevent single lines at the bottom or top of the other page that should be together. And then there is the best of both, which is what we typically recommend. It's an Atticus algorithm specially formulated to prioritize against widows and orphans to make sure that those are eliminated as much as possible, but then also balance the page as much as possible as well. So not 100% perfect at all times, but it will get you the best of both worlds. And all you have to do is click a button. So a lot easier. That's one of the things book formatters get paid the big bucks for, and you just have to click a button. So it saves you a lot of time and energy. Next up is your typography. This is the font. So you can choose your body font here. This is for the print book, and your font size, line spacing. If you want to enable large print, you can do that here. Your header and footer. Again, this is all for the print book. You can scroll through the menu here, choose your font size, font choice, and header and font size. Sorry, I'm reading and talking at the same time. And then you have your trim sizes, which is fairly standard. You have the color coding if you're publishing to Kindle, KDP, or Ingram Spark, and other just kind of traditional page sizes as well. So those are all your formatting settings. Again, this isn't a really in-depth tutorial. It's just kind of giving you an idea of where everything is now that has been updated a little bit and looks a little bit different. But as always, you'll want to make sure you save your theme after you've made any changes. And then you should be good to go when you can export to PDF or EPUB, however you need it. And then publish and make a lot of people really happy when they read your books. That's the goal. So that is the new layout. That is where everything is. I'm going to jump back into the comment section and see if you guys have any questions. If there's anything about this new update that you'd like me to discuss a little bit further, let me know. You can also just ask general questions if you'd like. Anything about how Atticus operates. If it is something specific to your book, if you're having some kind of trouble figuring out how to do something, and it's specific to your book, not just kind of a general question, then that's often something that we'll need to work with you a little bit closer on, so you can email support about that. But I will do my very best to answer all your questions in the video here. So I am going to back up. I can see we have quite a few comments here. Now, I know Felicia and Lizzie have been busy answering questions, so hopefully anybody who has asked, you may already have had a text answer, but if I have the opportunity to, I will showcase everything in video format as well. So let's see here. Ross says, "Good day, everyone, here from South Australia." Welcome, Ross. Thank you for being here. It's probably a little bit warmer where you are than where I am. I'm having a cold day today, and I turned off my heater for this live event, so the adrenaline is keeping me warm. Joel has asked, is box set a series? Generally speaking, yes. More theoretically speaking, it can be whatever you need it to be. So the main plan of adding the box set option to Atticus, which was just here on the homepage, is when you create a new box set, if you have already formatted books and say you are writing a series and you've already written book 1, 2, 3 and formatted it in Atticus and you have them in there, you can use the box set feature to collect them all together and then sell it as a box set for the EPUB version. You can also use it if you have created a series of short stories, or if you've collected an anthology and you're working with co-authors and you want to bring all their books into one. If you are writing nonfiction and you have a series of some sort that's not necessarily consecutive order, but just kind of on the same topic, you can collect them all into a box set here as well. It's really what you need it, but that was generally the idea, yes. Okay. Oh, see, I told you. Dyron Hunter says, this was when I had mentioned if anything goes crazy, like your cat walks over your keyboard and you lose everything. Apparently that has happened before. My cat walked over my keyboard and managed to delete a whole chapter, only I didn't know about it until the next day. So I saved and closed the computer. Yeah, if that happens, quite often we can recover the content for you. So write into support and let us know what happened. If you've been on any of these live streams or with me before, you know, I say this all the time, everyone behind Atticus is authors. We know exactly what it feels like to have something go wrong at the very last minute, at the very worst time possible. So we get it, and we're here for you. Hopefully, there are no diabolical cats losing our content, but just get in touch with our support team. All right, so I love the new spot for the master pages. Okay, that's great. It seems like it's going to be so much more intuitive. I won't forget they're there for a start. Yes, that I don't know if that was the thinking behind the team, but I felt that way myself. Quite often I'll go into a book. You know, I have a personal account and this is my work account, and you don't see it quite as much on this one, but I'll go into my account here and notice that I have like 4 different also buy pages because I've forgotten that I've created one already. So having them front and center definitely is a great reminder. Okay, let's see. How do you upload a book from Google Docs? Great question, Christina. We do have a tutorial showing how to do it from a docx. So Atticus does take docx files. When you're writing in Google Docs, what you'll want to do is go to File and then Download As, and it'll give you the option to do Download as docx file. Pretty much all the same instructions apply as when you're working in Microsoft Word. So just as a quick rundown, my preferred settings personally are to always put my chapter titles in the Word default or Google Docs default heading 1 tag. You can use heading 2 through 6 to do your subheadings. There are a few other ways to designate a chapter title. I find the heading is the easiest, but you can also do 20-point font, which is a good reminder if you like to write with really large font. So say you're writing in Google Docs and it makes it easier for you to write at font size 24. Normally that wouldn't be a problem because Atticus kind of does all the formatting for you, but anything that's 20 points or larger, it will import as a chapter title. So you'll want to adjust that before you export your docx file and just make sure it's less than 20 points unless it is a chapter title. You can also press enter 4 times or more, and that will start a brand new chapter. So another kind of troubleshooting tip there for you is if you have chapters coming into Atticus when you didn't mean it to be a new chapter, if you had it's part 2 of the same chapter, it may be because in your original manuscript you have pressed enter a bunch of times to add some space in there. So you'll want to make sure that you don't put too many paragraph breaks in your document. And then you can also use a page break. To be honest, I'm not sure if Google Docs does page breaks. I think it does. I think if you press Control or Command Enter, it gives you a page break. I would have to double check that. But essentially all the same rules apply. 3 asterisks will import as a seam break. If you're adding any styling, you want to stick to the basic bold, italics, or underlined. Don't add anything fancy. Basically keep it simple. And then from Google Docs, export to docx file, and that should import fairly well. So I hope that answered. That was probably more in depth than you were expecting, but I hope that helped. Hello, Gabriel. Welcome back. You were here with us yesterday as well. It's good to see you again. I hope I'm not making that up. I'm pretty sure you're the same Gabriel who was here yesterday. My brain's a little fuzzy. I've been talking a lot. Don't forget to update the Atticus website with the new prints. The new prints. Can you elaborate on that? I'm not sure if I have forgotten something or if this is just a new idea. Let me know where we're supposed to be putting the new prints. Dyron says, I think the new button for the previewer is my favorite thing. Oh, that's wonderful. I know it scared a lot of people. Until you know where it is, it seems like it's disappeared, but I'm glad you like it. I do think that it will come in handy for a lot of people, and I like that it kind of sneaks away. It's so much smoother to click one button than how we used to get to it before. Absolutely. I really hope that a lot of these changes become so much more intuitive once you're used to seeing them there. That was the goal. So thank you for that feedback. It's really nice to know. I take it back. The new layout for the formatting is my favorite. I have to agree with you there. The new formatting, I find it so streamlined and easy. You don't have to scroll all the way down the page. Having the menu on the side, I think makes it just really nice and neat and easy to use. So again, thank you so much for your feedback. We really, really appreciate that. And I'm so glad it's working for you. Do you know if additional trim sizes are still in the cards to be added? I asked about it a while back and support said didn't know. It is on our list. Absolutely. We're actually hoping that one day in the somewhere nearish future, you'll even be able to do a custom size so you can enter your own details for the trim size. The thing that we're not entirely sure about is when. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, this update really set the foundation for us to be able to unroll some of the other features that we're really excited about that needed the space, pardon me, to live properly on our dashboard without cluttering everything up, and to make sure it operated well and everything worked harmoniously together. But in that process, some things need to happen in a certain order. So something has to be there before something else can exist. So that is on our list, and we have kind of a 1, 2, 3 of what's happening next. I know the next kind of 2 big things that a lot of people are working for is going to be adding more font choices and drop caps. So those will be rolling out kind of next, and then trim sizes will probably be somewhere after that. We do a lot of quality control, and that can be really, really unpredictable. So while we're testing out everything that the programmers work so hard to do, we can sometimes say, well, this works differently on a different computer, or if I do this weird thing with my book, this weird thing happens with the new programming. So we go back and forth a lot, and it's really hard to tell how long anything is going to take in that process. So we never give timelines. We never give timelines. Specifically hardcover sizes. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have the custom trim size, or at the very least some additional trim sizes. We've also been working with Lulu, trying to see what would help authors with their platform as well. So trim sizes are absolutely, definitely on our radar. Beautiful. Thank you, Joel. We appreciate it. Okay, this is an interesting one. We did have an update this morning that allows you now to search by project or version. And when I read about that update, I thought that was a sort by, and I only figured it out myself about 5 minutes before this live. So I actually haven't had chance to ask about that. But I know you can search by project or version already. So if you type in the search bar, like I had kind of shown with, if I type in workbooks, then all of my books that I have put into the workbook project will show up. So if you have a project that you know you've named it, you can type that into the search bar and they will all show up and filter that way. I'm not 100% sure about the sorting. So I'll check on that because, like I said, I just noticed it myself. But hopefully the search by is useful for you at the very least. Welcome from Vancouver Island. That is my old stomping grounds. I used to live in Victoria. I miss it very much. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah, you beat me to it. You already knew that. Oh no, that's Felicia. So okay, there we go. Felicia has answered. So they're still working on the sort by. It will be coming soon. I have thoroughly confused my own self. Google Docs does use page breaks. Okay, thanks for confirming that. Insert page break or Control Enter is the keyboard shortcut. So thank you. That is great. That should import just as well into Atticus as well. Gabrielle, yes, you were here yesterday. Okay, I was pretty sure I recognized your epic music logo there. Atticus website is currently showing the old visual from the software. You didn't update the print screen. Oh, our homepage. I see. Thank you for clarifying that. I did notice that I need to make some changes there. So thank you for the reminder. That is in the works. Weirdly enough, the tutorials were the priority. We want to make sure that everybody who owns Atticus already is fully supported and knows where everything is. But our homepage is absolutely very important as well, because we want to make sure that anybody who is coming into Atticus brand new knows exactly what to expect. So thank you. Okay, that's fair. I know it's a tough ask. Yes, trims are still on the list. Yes, ooh, new drop caps. Yes, I think you guys will all love this. The design team has worked so hard to get some really amazing options. We're so excited. All of these, so I am not on the programming side of things. I don't do any of the programming or the tech talk whatsoever. I just use it once it's available. And the amount of math that goes into creating these drop caps was quite a shock to me. I had no idea it would be such a involve so many calculations. So they did an amazing job. We're really excited about it. Will you release a 2024 roadmap as you released in 2023? As far as like what we're hoping to do in 2024, I don't know that we have a plan for a new roadmap, but we can update. Let me see what we've got. Sorry, I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. So if you go to atticus.io/roadmap, this may be the one that you were talking about. It probably doesn't look like we have as much planned for 2024 as we did for 2023. But the main difference is because the items that we do have planned, specifically collaboration, it's not just a single feature that we can release. It is a huge, major industry-changing project that is going to include so many different things. So while we may have been able to release, I don't even know how many, but 25 different features in 2023, collaboration is going to be like a combination of 25 features all rolled into one. So that is the biggest thing on our roadmap in the immediate future, but we will be releasing a few other updates. Like I mentioned, the font choices, the drop caps, probably trim sizes, stuff like that. So, through email. I'm not sure. I take care of the emails. So if you are wanting something in specific, maybe write into support and just kind of ask for Monique, and it'll get shuffled off to me, and kind of let me know what you're looking there for as far as the roadmap goes, and I'll see if we can do some updates for you and get you some more information, or not just you, but in general, what is in demand. So yeah, send me an email and we'll see what we can do about that. So we're coming up on about 40 minutes. And if you guys have any other questions, I am happy to stay on and continue chatting and answer any questions that you may have. But I do plan on going live again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you're always welcome to join in again if you think of anything down the line. Tomorrow it will be in the afternoon. I believe, you know what? I've forgotten my own schedule here. What do we got planned? All my days are starting to run together. This update has been a lot going on. So tomorrow I will be going live at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Saturday, we're doing the morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Sunday, we've got 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hopefully one of those matches everyone's time zone. And of course, you're welcome to always come back and interact. We love chatting with you. Oh, goodness. Okay, so this is how you break my brain here. It's already Friday. In some parts of the world, it is. It's true. I spent some time in Australia, and all my family's on the west coast of Canada, so I would always call them from the future. It was quite fun. Okay, so a couple more comments here. I love that y'all care so much about current customers rather than only about prospective customers. Thank you very much. Of course, I mean, we love all new customers. The goal of Atticus is to support as many authors as possible and make sure we get as many books out in the world as possible. But those of you who have been with us a week or a month or a year or since the very beginning, we're here for you. We are absolutely dedicated to you, and we will continue welcoming people into the Atticus community. But our priority is always going to be making sure that we keep those of you who have invested your time and money into the program already, making sure that you are taken care of and kept happy, and hopefully exceeding expectations along the way, because we plan to keep updating and improving. So thank you for that, Joel. Gabrielle says, I just want dark mode, but time pays off. Yes. Yeah, if you want dark mode, a lot of people want dark mode, and we really want to deliver dark mode. It's amazing how much of a contrast there is when you're used to seeing everything dark, and then all of a sudden the screen brightens up with Atticus. We just need to make sure that we do it right. We're very conscientious about anybody who is maybe a little bit visually impaired, which dark mode is quite often perfect for the contrast settings, but we need to make sure we get them right in the programming, because it's one of those things that are a little bit harder to undo once you've set it up. So we want that as well. So hopefully it will be coming soon. Again, I can't tell you exactly when, but it definitely is high on our list. Thank you so much. Best support ever. We really do try. I think the fact that we are all authors really does make a difference. We know exactly what it feels like. And it's funny, everyone on the team will say something like, somebody will write in, I'm releasing tomorrow when this happened. And we're all like, oh my goodness, why did you wait till you're releasing tomorrow? And then we're all like, wait a minute, we would have done that. This exact thing it's always Murphy's Law. So we get it. We absolutely understand, and always do our best to de-stress our customers as much as possible. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. About the time zone, the Friday, yes. Apparently it's already tomorrow for Gabrielle as well. I clicked on a comment that I hadn't meant to. So Felicia has just chimed in terms of dark mode, the UI revamp we just released was also a step we needed to take to pave the way for it. So there you go. That's another really great prime example of why we needed to do this update. For the most part, it seems like everybody really loves the new look, which is wonderful. Truth be told, we were prepared for more panic than we saw. So that's great. A lot of people have mentioned that, it looks different. It'll take a while to get used to, but mostly everybody really likes the UI. But I do want to emphasize that we didn't just do this for the sake of change, or we didn't just want to shake things up or make things pretty. It was really mandatory for the future of Atticus. So, Cheryl, I am sorry, but probably not. And by probably, I mean almost certainly not. Times New Roman is a licensed font. So it is not available for commercial use. And for the most part, Atticus is going to protect authors from doing things that can get them in trouble, like having fonts that are not available for commercial use and you're putting it in a book for sale. We are doing everything we can to integrate with Google Fonts. This will be mainly for your headings rather than the body font. So the fonts inside Atticus right now are the most commonly used commercially available fonts for the publishing industry. Times New Roman is a favorite in the publishing industry, mainly because traditionally, traditional publishers and editors and agents required you to use Times New Roman to submit your manuscript. That is kind of a thing of the past in a lot of cases, because fewer people are using agents and traditional publishers. So you can set up your book however you want as an author. We absolutely understand that it's something that you are used to and it's ingrained in a lot of people, but because you really aren't supposed to publish using it unless you have a special license, it probably is not going to be added to Atticus. But there will be some serif fonts that look similar. So hopefully that helps. Not a stupid question at all, Gabrielle. How many programmers are involved in Atticus? It's not a stupid question, but to be very honest with you, I do not know the answer to it. We have a large programming team, especially in terms of a program like Atticus. In the grand scheme of the business world, it's a relatively small team, but for programmers like this, we do have quite a lot. I don't actually know exactly how many we have, though. They have their own special office. Multiple programmers and often multiple teams of programmers. So Cheryl says, I don't care for the new look. I wish I could change it back. You know what? That's valid. And I am sorry that you aren't comfortable with the new look, but I really do hope that over time it will feel more natural to you. You can't change it back. And we hope that, like I said, over time, hopefully it just becomes more normal to you and feels more comfortable for that reason. But these updates really had to happen. It kind of had to be laid out the way it is so that we can roll out new features for you. But yeah, I hope you get used to it. I don't like TNR. Oh, Times New Roman. I don't have strong feelings about it, to be honest. I could take it or leave it. I don't like that it is a licensed font that not everybody knows is a licensed font because it's so prevalent in programs that are made for personal use. So it's so common in Word, for example, that everybody is used to it and they don't realize that it could be a problem for them to sell products that use it. That makes me nervous for people, but for the font itself, I don't have strong feelings about it, to be honest. But I know a lot of people love it. I know a lot of people do not love it. But hopefully you can find something that you do love within Atticus. I think the lack of panic is because you guys are so awesome. Oh, you're lovely. About letting us know what's going on, and that support is always consistently helpful. Lets us trust you. Well, thank you so much. We do really, really try. We want to make sure that everyone always feels comfortable and like their books are in good hands. So that's great. Thank you so much. Cheryl says, I didn't know that. That's sad. Thanks. I'm thinking that's in regards to the Times New Roman. Yeah, sorry. Hopefully you find a font that you love just as much. Tim Trott says, what are the chances of getting Pro Writer's Aid to integrate with Atticus? So Pro Writing Aid does work very well with Atticus, with the exception of a very few devices or systems. I do know that you have written into us about Pro Writing Aid. Tim, I do remember your name. I know we've worked with you. Pro Writing Aid has actually very recently released some updates because they are trying just as hard as we are to make the two programs work well together. For the most part, it works seamlessly for most people. And then when a browser updates, sometimes Chrome updates a lot for security purposes. So it's important and necessary, but it does interrupt the talking between the two apps or any progressive web apps. So sometimes you do have to uninstall Pro Writing Aid, clear your cache, and then reinstall it. I can't remember off the top of my head if we've gone through that whole process with you, Tim, but if we haven't, just write into support. We'll be able to walk you through that process. But I know Pro Writing Aid has made a few updates very recently, like within the last couple of weeks, that has improved the experience for a lot of systems. There may be something on your device that is getting in the way of the connection between the two, which can be really hard to pinpoint. For the most part, it works really well with Atticus. So keep writing in. You can keep writing into us. Their support is very good as well. So you can write into them and they might have some information that we haven't figured out yet. So keep trying. We'll keep trying. We'll always keep trying to update and make it better. Fonts, my preference is for sans serif. We do have some of those for sure. The new look is growing on me. That's great. I mentioned this yesterday, but in the live stream, so the live stream happened at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which was just a few hours after the update went live. But I've been working on the tutorials in the back end with this program for a little while now. But I have already forgotten what it used to look like. And this is probably how my brain works. But there are some things where I truly have forgotten that it wasn't always like that. So hopefully that helps people soon as well. And you just get more used to it. But I'm glad the new look is growing on you. Thanks for letting us know. Hopefully it keeps getting better and better. I didn't know it was licensed, even though I don't use it. Okay. Source Sans Pro is a decent font. Yes. That one we've got. Darren likes Laura. That's a good one too. Yeah, I really quite like that one. I find that one is quite popular in the publishing industry. I've heard a lot of different YouTube authors talking about it. Atticus support is amazing. Thank you so much. We love hearing that. Thank you. Ooh, the $1 million question. Almost an hour into the live stream and it pops up. What does Atticus think about AI tools? So Atticus as a company has no plans on working with AI tools or allowing AI integration with Atticus at this point. We have no plans for it. All of the authors on our team may have their own preferences and thoughts. It is a very contentious topic. People love it or hate it or fall somewhere in between. My personal take is that it's not going anywhere. So I encourage authors to use it as a tool. I do think it opens the gates for low quality work and low quality publishing that's going to flood the market. But as with everything, that will happen. And then it will normalize itself. I really do believe that people will find out that if you publish something that sounds like a computer wrote it, you're not going to have a huge loyal fan base. So I think real life authors are always going to be in it for the win. And AI tools can be used very effectively as tools. But with Atticus, I don't see any AI coming to Atticus in the near future, except for on our website with our little chatbot, which we are training on a daily basis to give you even more support. So if you haven't been to our website recently, We do have a new AI chatbot, which like I said, we're training very, very carefully as much as we can. So if you are looking for answers, you're always welcome to use that. And it's very good at responding with great information as to Atticus. But you can still always write into our support email. It has not taken the place of our support email. We are adding staff, not removing them. So everything that we can do to just get you faster answers, that is what we're going for here. So that's about the extent that we have any plans of using AI, at least for the current time. Everything changes, so who knows what the future will bring. It'll probably grow on me too. I need to be patient, probably. My grandfather was British, and his probably most used saying was, patience is a virtue, catch it if you can, seldom in a woman, never in a man. And that definitely has undertones that can get political, but I just thought it was hilarious. It's one of my favorite memories. I like it, plays over and over in my head all the time. Valerie is wondering, what are master pages? Great question. So if you have any pages in your book that you use over and over again, if you're publishing more than one book, and say you have your about author page or an also by page, these are the most commonly used ones. What you can do, I'll pop into Atticus here. So let's say this, I'm writing, this is probably also why I have so many of the same master pages, because I just do these for tutorial benefits. So say we've got our also by page, and you've got book 1, book 2, book 3, and you've gone through and you've gone through the process of linking to those books so that your audience can connect directly to it. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And you've set it up and you've got all the URLs set up, and it looks beautiful and exactly the way you want it. And then you write another book, and instead of having to redo that page all over again, what you can do is in the original, click the 3 dots beside the title of the page and save as a master page. So when you do that, it will give you a pop-up here that says master page created successfully. And you now have a button in the bottom right here that says apply changes. So this master page now, if I go, I'm currently in Little Dog Ready, but if I go to my home dashboard again and I open up this fiction writing exercises workbook, I can now come to the 3 dots here and go master pages, and I have my also by page here. And I can insert it into the page. It will take on the theme of the book that I'm working on, but all of the content will be saved from the previous version. And so now let's say this is a brand new book and I want to add my 4th link. All I have to do is set that 4th link up one time in one book, apply the changes. It will ask me if I want to apply this to all of the books in my account that are using this master page or only in this book. So you do have the option of keeping it only in one book. But if you want it to populate into all of the books, you can apply it to all of your books. And then instead of having to actually change the content and update the content on every one of your books, all you have to do now is just export a new file because it will have updated. So if I go back to Little Dog Ready and I look at my also by page, you can see it now has book 4 that I changed in the previous book. So it automatically updates for you. So that is a master page. What about a PWA Everywhere integration? PWA Everywhere, Pro Writing Aid Everywhere? I'm not sure. Is that a new thing? I'm not sure where the Everywhere is. I may just not be familiar with that, so I don't have an answer to this question. I'm sorry. If you can clarify, is this a new program of theirs, PWA Everywhere? Or if this is just a general hope that you can get Pro Writing Aid Everywhere, or this is also a acronym for Progressive Web Apps, which is what Atticus is. But generally, when I see PWA, that makes me think Pro Writing Aid. So I'm guessing that's what you're talking about there. You can elaborate in the comments, and I might be able to update my answer. Joel's happy, no AI. I think a lot of authors are happy that at the very least, there's no AI using your books to train a large language program. So that's not happening. I love how Atticus cares about what we writers think. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate that you recognize that. And even more importantly, we really do care what you think. Everyone using our program, we really do listen to your feedback. And we have created features specifically because they have been asked for. So while everyone on the team is authors, that doesn't mean that we all have the same process. But if a whole bunch of people say, we need this, we listen to that. So we have definitely already created features that have been in demand, and we have more on our to-do list because people have requested it. So if there's ever anything that you really would like to add, and I know a lot of people are immediately going to say plotting and outlining features and notes features and character development sheets. And of course, the collaboration, everybody is excited for that. Those are already on our list. Don't worry, those are coming. Oh, what perfect timing. Last question. The plotting tools are planned. I'm not asking for ETAs, but I want to know if this is, yes, we really are planning on doing that. We do have some UI images and plans and programs and templates in place already. It is absolutely a plan. I am so excited for it because, you guys, I am a major plotter. I am pretty much a plotter, not even a writer. So I am very, very excited for the plotting tools. I've seen some sneak peeks and they're amazing. You guys cannot wait. So they're definitely not just planned, but in the works, in development. Oh, yeah, Lizzie's got you covered. Everywhere is when PWS operates on email Word. Oh, I see. Okay, so Pro Writing Aid everywhere. That would be a Pro Writing Aid thing. We do know that it works with Atticus and the Atticus app. But Pro Writing Aid everywhere would be, you would have to talk to them if something is not working somewhere else. Gabriel's asking, are you Lizzie for support? Yes, she is. That is, yes. Felicia is also from support if she's still around here, but that is Lizzie from support. Absolutely. She's one of our absolutely wonderful customer success geeks. Oh, yeah, you've just elaborated. Okay. I was hoping there'd be an integration with Atticus. So I don't think it needs to be separately mentioned in everywhere because it just, the Chrome Pro Writing Aid extension works with Atticus. And again, that is on almost every device. It just works. There are a few edge cases where for some reason, which we can't always figure out, it's just something's not connecting somewhere. We do our very best to figure it out, and usually we can get it working. But I don't think it needs to be a separate item on their everywhere list. It just works with Atticus. Yeah, we're very excited as well, Cheryl. Okay, well, you guys have been an absolute blast to hang out with today. Shout out here. Felicia is awesome. She absolutely is. Thank you for that. Will pasting into Atticus ever be supported? So it's not that you can't paste into Atticus, like you physically can do it. It just always comes with a risk of bringing in hidden formatting. And that is always going to be the case because whenever you're working with a different program, it has its own language and coding for that program, which doesn't always translate to Atticus. Sometimes it's just invisible in the background, but sometimes it can break things. So whenever you're pasting into Atticus, it's kind of like Russian roulette. Sometimes it'll work just fine, but sometimes it will break something along the way and your EPUB won't validate, or you won't be able to get it to export because it causes bigger trouble. Atticus won't let you export something if it's going to impact the file itself. So if ever your PDF isn't exporting or your EPUB isn't exporting, it's probably because there's something that would impact the file itself and make it a bad experience for your readers. So you can write in support, we'll work it out with you. So you can paste into Atticus with that risk. You can, what works better is pasting without formatting. So if you paste without formatting, you eliminate anything that is not visible. So if there's any hidden coding, it does not come with it. It will strip styling though, which is where all the hidden coding likes to live. So you'll have to reapply your italics or your bolded fonts or your URLs, anything like that, you'll have to reapply it. But to paste without formatting, you'll want to press and hold the Control or Command button and then press Shift and R. So normally, or Shift and V. Normally pasting is Control V or Command V. You just want to add the Shift button in there. So Control Shift V or Command Shift V, and then you can paste without formatting. You can also right click and choose paste as plain text, and it will do the same thing. And that just, it will protect you. And then you want to do your formatting, whatever special styling needs to be done, you'll do that from inside Atticus. Thanks again immensely. You are immensely welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I've been pasting. Yeah. I mean, some people do. Some people paste and it never is a problem. But like I said, it just always kind of comes at a risk. So we really don't recommend it, or you can paste without formatting and that works. But we've tried to make it as easy as possible for you to just upload your files. So just in case anybody is not familiar, I'll go over this really quickly as well. But if you've already imported your docx file and say you want to add a sneak peek at the end of your book, which was saved in a whole different file. If you have, say, a single chapter saved in a docx file, and you have your book already, so this is my book and I just want to add the sneak peek, you can come down here and import chapters, and you can upload a new file and add it in here into the current book you're working on. So, and that works with anything. So if you say are working on a blog post and you want to bring it into Atticus, you can copy it from the blog and paste it into Word and then import the Word document that way. And then it's still, it's basically processing the coding for you. So it's not, it gives that level of almost translation or interpretation from one document to the other. I hope that makes sense. That reminds me, when Atticus first came out, it was suggested that if you paste into Atticus with the, yeah, exactly, paste without formatting. Yes, that is still a really good workaround. Absolutely. And you literally answered it as I was typing. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm glad we could all share that. There are a lot of things that we do our best to make sure that everybody knows, but unless you've gone through kind of all of the tutorials, then maybe it hasn't come across your radar. So copy and pasting is one of those things where we try very hard to make sure it's out there as far as information goes, but it's not something that you need to know in order to get started. So it may not have crossed your path for everyone. So, but very, very good information to have, the copy pasting rule, and then the logging out and logging in every once in a while. That's another piece of information that we try to put that out there as much as possible, like maybe weekly or something. Make sure you log out of Atticus and log back in. It's like the whole turning it off and on again gets things running smoother. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my voice has been steadily declining. So I'm going to be signing off pretty quick here tonight, but thank you so much for being here. As I mentioned, I am going to be doing a couple more live streams. I love doing these live streams. So as my schedule allows, I will continue to do them even after these couple of days. So if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there's a little notification bell. You can ring that so that whenever I either post a new tutorial or demo, or whenever I go live, you will be notified about it. And it also just helps us with the algorithm to let YouTube know that there are people interested in our content. So, but mostly I just want to stay in touch with you. So we'll be sending out emails as per usual when new things happen, and I will be live again tomorrow morning if anybody wants to join me. But I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope it's a wonderful day, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care, everyone.